Hello everyone, and welcome back to a Hearts of Iron 4 Formable Nation. Today we are playing in Götterdämmerung because it has in fact added quite a few new formable nations, some for Hungary, some for the Congo, some spread around the world, but most importantly, one for Germany. Kind of. You see, if we start up the game, and we're going to be going to custom game rules, we now have a legendary new option to fragment Germany, as we do here. Starting the game as Germany under the fragmentation options actually automatically defaults you to playing as Prussia, which is kind of funny, but additionally we can see a new formable nation, the German reunification. This is important because by taking the current modern German states we can reunify them, which is pretty cool, especially if you want to play as any of these releasables, including the new ones such as the Rhenish Republic. Very cool. The thing is though, I have a desire. I want to form Germany as Germany and do it in Iron Man compatible. And that's kind of awkward because you can't actually release any of the constituent states of the German kingdoms playing as Germany. So in order to do this, we're going to have to do something very funky indeed. Essentially, we're going to have to find a way to become a completely different nation that can form Germany, and it just so happens there might be one in the Baltics. But enough about that. Let's see if we can't get things started off with the correct way to do this, rallying the Wehrmacht. I always start my games off by just building a few fort lines along the northern front. They're not super necessary, but if you're looking to push, typically around here towards the Czechoslovak line, it's nice to have some defensive capabilities. And away we go. As part of the new content, an event can appear about the loyalty of the Kriegsmarine. You can try and secure the navy, but you'll have to take some focuses later on, and frankly I just want the political power. Because with that political power, we can actually start an early justification. On Luxembourg. Okay, the Wehrmacht officers challenge us. That's all good by us. Luckily we've set our units up perfectly along the line for the push. All you have to do now is stick your much worse Landstrom regiments and just make them hold the line. You don't really need them to do any of the work. Gotthard will just hold for you. It's the other units that are super important. If you ever find yourself struggling with the Civil War though, the best advice I can give you is don't sleep on your tanks. They are by far the best divisions you have to literally just rip straight through the middle of Germany. Okay, let's see what we can do. And I think we just blitzkrieg straight through to Berlin. There we go. Easy peasy. No problem at all. Oh, and there goes Hitler. It seems to me basically once you've taken Berlin, things just get so much easier. When choosing between your industry focuses, you could go for the 4-year plan. Its military build-up is pretty good. But to me, having to deal with the contents of the MIFO bills is really not something we're aiming for. We're trying to form Germany as Germany, so let's prioritise some economic growth. I do believe we've just broken through, and we should be heading for the Czechoslovakian line. Ah yes, the line is split. At this point you really have the choice. You can either choose to take the east or the west. I think I'm going to prioritise the east first. It's just kind of always what I've done. Okay, things are going well in Rostock. We appear to be clearing up. Oh yes, old Prussia is ours. On reflection, I'm probably pushing in on every single front I can get my hands on, both the south and the front at the north at the same time. So much for starting off with the north. It appears I've accidentally just gone straight for the south. But they left it so open for me, it would have been wrong not to take advantage. And finally, just snaking through the back of Silesia. I think they've pretty much given up now. They're just running around trying to escape me. Oh! I didn't even get to finish my encirclements. With leadership captured, I don't really have any difference, but I would like the political power, so imprison them for life. Do we really need this anymore? I don't think so, and we just need to complete our focus. So we can, as quickly as possible, head down to revive the Kaiser. You don't want to delay on this because there's going to be a rebellion and things are going to get bad and blah 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 blah. Okay, now let's revive the Kaiserreich. Everything is going straightforward. Oh yes, and I also forgot that now you also have the choice between returning the Kaiser or military dictatorship. I'm not sure how much it matters for us, but let's just return the Kaiser and keep things simple. Okay, so going forwards, we're going to be on a pretty fixed schedule of things we need to do. First up, I'm going to need the Kaiser to come back to Germany. Welcome back. Next up, we need to rush down and start Middle Europa immediately. It seems that in all of my testing, Austria is likely to form a faction if we don't deal with them soon, so just getting this done as quickly as possible means we're not locking ourselves out of these two focuses and thus locking ourselves out of this entire section of the focus tree. In the meantime, I need to spam out as many units as possible. It seems that a lot of the focuses, much like historical Germany, have pretty high manpower in the field requirements, so I think we need like 800,000 men in the field. There really isn't too much time to lose. Middle Europa, a 14-day focus. Now that I cannot hate on. Oh, and Luxembourg is good to go. Okay, well, considering they literally don't have any troops, this should be pretty straightforward. Okay, and in the peace deal, I'm going to puppet them. Very strange, I know, but I really do believe this is a puppet kind of situation. The Grand Duchy of Luxembourg. Wow. Okay, keeping the focuses going, moving on to Brother-in-Arms, we can officially get Austria into the faction and ensure we don't have any awkwardness with them forming a faction. Oh, the federal state of Austria rejects our offer. Okay. I suppose that's fine. In the event that that does happen, I guess things can go kind of strange sometimes, you can just rekindle imperial sentiment, which basically sticks us back on the same path as they rejoin the faction. Anyway, wow, I really didn't expect them to say no. Having completed Rekindle Imperial Settlement though, all these nations should now get some nice non-aligned support, which means we just have to leave them to it. In the meantime, there's plenty of other focuses I need to work towards, such as getting South Jutland, but most importantly, working down this section of the focus tree. Let's restore the Brest-Litovsk borders. And of course, keep spamming out the units, as many units as possible. So many required. Denmark offers a trade proposal. I'm not sure this is what I wanted. I kind of wanted you to give me some land. Denmark caves to our demands. Yes, that was the trade deal I wanted. Thank you very much. Goodness, I love just spamming out divisions the second they have enough supply to be spawned. This is just so fun. Okay, hopefully that should be enough units. Can we now take the focus? Ah yes, the Memel Ultimatum. Luckily we've only generated 8.5% threat at this time, so we're not as bad as Japan, which means we should be able to get away with it. So Lithuania, how's about we talk about that little Memel situation? That was probably the wise thing to do. Demand Lithuanian integration. Ugh, 800k. Oh, the amount of men you have to spam out is so many for this tree. It's fine, I'll find something else to do. Okay, how about now? Yes, demand Lithuanian integration. 5 threat, oh my goodness. That really boosts our tension in the wrong direction. The good news, however, is it appears Austria-Hungary's back. Welcome, friend. That doesn't look like Otto von Habsburg to me, but sure. With this focus, I can sometimes be a little bit apprehensive because it gives you so much war tension. In the time that you might get the war goal, there's a split second where they might get guaranteed by the allies. So I'm just gonna very calmly play this down, and assuming they accept annexation. Oh yes, they accepted annexation. Very good. On the off chance that they didn't, you would have to have paused and instantly declared the war. You have maybe 11.5% like me, you're in the red, and they would have been guaranteed. And, who wants to fight a war with the allies? Okay, time for a very important focus, because it's kind of the point of the whole video. The reason we can form Germany as Germany is because of a Baltic German state having access to the decision. So, establish some Eastern Grand Duchies. It's time. Inside of our Realpolitik decision section, we can now see former Baltic German state, focus complete, and I don't know if it's easy to see, but it basically just requires owning Latvia and Estonia, so luckily we might have a focus to deal with exactly that. Subduing the Baltic states. A war goal against Estonia and Latvia, and I just so happen to be below 10% threat. Why yes, I think I will take them. Playing as Germany means there's basically no planning that's needed. You can kind of just turn your brain off and things will mostly work as you need them to. I guess what really matters here is the order in which you take the focuses. Getting screwed out of forming a faction with Austria can really hamper things later on. It seems world tension has actually gone below 25%. They couldn't guarantee even if they wanted to. Sucks to be the allies, I guess. That's a free Baltics. I think it goes without saying that there's not going to be too much pressure in this section. Just make sure to clean up all of your Insta comments. Don't leave anything looking messy. Latvia. Gone. And there goes Estonia. With that done, we can make the first important step towards forming Germany as Germany, and that's getting our middle state. The Baltic German state, or the United Baltic Duchy, led by Heinrich. Now the next question you might be wondering is, if we're playing as Germany, how do we start playing as the United Baltic Duchy? And here's where things got a little bit complicated, because when you go to subjects, normally you can just work your way through, change the autonomy of a puppet, and then annex them. But they become a personal union, and you can never annex a personal union state. It's always false. So I was like, disaster. It's over. It's finished. But there is one they fear. You see, the reason we were so desperate to finish the Austria section is so that we can form a European confederation. It just so happens the United Baltic Duchy is inside Europe, and so, once we bypass through Czechoslovakia, we can now head down this section and actually annex them through the European Confederation, which is exactly what we're going to do. Oh, and just as an aside, make sure to build up your puppets' mills. They're going to need them later on. It is very funny that they made it so that the Kaiser can form the European Union. It's quite good. I can't complain. Hopefully they all accept economic integration. If they don't, that could be quite annoying. Austria-Hungary accepts, United Baltic Duchy accepts, Luxembourg accepts. I think we might be on our way to an EU, the European Confederation. And just to reiterate, a lot of this run does include just kind of taking focuses in the right order, but that is what must be done to form Germany. With 900 political power, I'm really hoping that I have enough capability to actually manage to integrate everybody. I'd certainly hope so. So, economic, we need to do Austria-Hungary, and we mostly need to do the Baltics. Additionally, while that's all going on, we can actually do another important focus. It doesn't seem it now, but it will be useful, and that's to restore Eastern Imperial possessions. You see, the United Baltic Duchy isn't actually connected by land to Germany, so having to control the sea to do anything is going to be very annoying. In short, we need Danzig. Oh, the United Baltic Duchy agrees. Now that is pretty important, and Austria-Hungary is now a puppet. That means we can integrate them as well. Also quite important. So Poland, what's it going to be? You handing it over? Oh. You are handing it over. Well, that makes things very simple. And Austria-Hungary accepts total integration? I mean, we are very strong now, my goodness. So with most of Central Europe secured, you could say that we're basically ready to get started on finishing this challenge. To win now, all we need to do is release ourselves as the United Baltic Duchy and take Germany. We just play as. But that's probably not the right thing to do. Just before we get started, we should consider some obvious things. Germany, the nation we're playing, is much stronger than the United Baltic Duchy. It's got a ridiculous tree, it's powerful, and there are so many caveats we need to account for. For starters, I think I am going to integrate Luxembourg now. I think their time has come to an end. And additionally, this is really important. We can't release ourselves until 50% world tension. This is because when you release the United Baltic Duchy, they're non-aligned, so they can't justify war goals until 50% world tension, meaning how are we going to be able to do anything? We're just going to be trapped there. So because of that, I think it's going to be a little bit more of a waiting game just until we can reach 50% world tension. Usually it's Germany, the one who has to even boost world tension, but, well, there is no Germany to do so, because I'm the German Empire. I'm not doing anything. Bye-bye Luxembourg. Ignoring my super heavy howitzers, I've noticed that we have dipped below 10% personal threat, meaning we can actually generate some world tension by maybe going after Poland again? I don't mind causing world tension, I just don't want to be in a war with the Allies. That's basically the core thing we're trying to avoid. So what about it, Poland? How do we feel about just giving over some of your literal integral territory? They've rejected. Now I am okay with this, because rejecting means I can declare a war. There's 1%. And the peace deal itself will also help us out here. I really wonder if I can do something funky here by incorporating the Polish rump state for a war goal against them. I am already at war with them, but depending on how this goes, this could be kind of interesting. Just a very simple conflict, no problems here. Okay, with the war goal about to be complete, I think we can now push in. I mean, we practically won anyway, this was just a formality. And yes, we do get a war goal against them. That is very interesting. Since we're trying to generate tension, how about expatriate the communists? That's 3% hidden away at the bottom. Okay, so here's my thought process. What if we take basically everything, apart from maybe one state? Then we take the ships. We confirm an exit. We still keep the war goal. Oh, but there's a truce. Damn. Depending on if they get guaranteed in this time period, maybe we can go straight back in. Soviet Union declares war on Finland. Okay, that's going to help boost tension. Remember, we just need 50%. That's basically all we need. Okay, here we go. Just at the turn of the day. I should go down to 2 speed. The truce just expired. So, occupied territory. Can we just return everything to Poland? Okay, welcome back Poland. We have divisions in their territory because we also gave them back. Disaster. In your own time, lads, it's not like there's a guarantee on the way. No rush. No rush. No rush at all. Okay, there we go. Oh my goodness, that is stressful. So, Poland is back again. They're very big. Lots of states to take. No guarantees. In we go. I'm just hoping, of course, they don't join the Allies or something. Okay, it looks like everything went according to plan. We're just zooming into Poland. No problemo. Soviets want to send volunteers. I believe that's some tension. Oh, that was 4%. Easy peasy. So, take every single state all over again. 52%. I do believe we are good to go. So, for those of you who are wondering how this madness is going to work, there are a few key things we need to do before we can win, and essentially we have to gimp Germany into non-existence. First off, let's look for a really useless 70-day focus for them to do. Unfortunately, a lot of these are 35 days these days. I suppose we can leave them doing some naval stuff. Next up, we have to delete their army. The whole army. Every single aspect of it. Once that's done, we have to make sure you go into logistics and delete all of their supplies. Everything has to go. I mean, this is sad, isn't it? All this equipment just being lost to history. I don't care too much about the fighters and the naval bombers. We're not actually planning to do any serious combat. After that, there are just some key things you can think about, such as disarming the nation to reduce their capability, civilian economy, anybody who's trying to help them you can get rid of. Make sure to get rid of all of these annoying advisors that might give them even the slightest advantage. Okay, the next section is kind of awkward. So, there are a lot of mills in Germany, and all of them are capable of producing military equipment that might screw us over if we found ourselves in a war with Germany. As such, I literally have to go around deleting every sieve and every mill. The mill produces guns, and the sieves produce mills which produce guns. What I am leaving, however, are the dockyards. I've been producing a ton of dockyards, and they are useful because they boost consumer goods, even the docks being there, meaning that through this you can actually slow down the German economy. If you're ever wondering where you've missed a spot, you can use the convert screen and it will actually show you in yellow the states that still have sieves and mills. I'm going to be leaving the United Baltic Duchy because that's where we're going to be playing. Okay, I think that's basically everything apart from the United Baltic Duchy. Is there anything else we need to do? Oh yes, the divisions. We need to remove all of them. If Germany doesn't have any divisions, how can they spawn any units? Of course, one issue is you must always have one division available for your garrison template, but they don't say what that division has to look like. So what's the most disgusting thing we can build that they'll never be able to build? Let's get some heavy tanks, some armoured cars. Oh, I think we need some anti-air in there, definitely. Motorised artillery, how could we forget? Yes, I do think that's a pretty good looking division. Make sure to swap it over so that it becomes your main unit for garrisons, and then delete the main one. Right, the only division they can in theory spawn is this disgusting looking heavy tank template. With that, let's do the final thing. We need to release two things. One is a puppet. I think the Grand Duchy of Luxembourg can probably help here. Welcome back. The other thing we need to release is of course the United Baltic Duchy. Off we go. My oh my, what a disaster strategy this is. Okay, so we are now playing as the United Baltic Duchy, and the whole reason we're here is they have the German reunification decision, and we're actually in luck because the AI, while they passively existed, has actually stored up some political power, meaning we can justify. But here's the thing, we can't justify against Germany. It's just too much world tension, we'll be seen as a threat, it's not worth it, you'll get in trouble with the Allies. Instead, if you go after, let's say, Luxembourg, that's only 1% and it's 40 days faster. It's absolutely worth. This is why releasing a little puppet like Luxembourg is so useful. Luckily we start off with 11 mills because that's what we were building inside of our puppet before they disappeared. With 5 XP, I'm going to very quickly make literally a 1 division cavalry, and we're going to need a lot of them. Taking a look at the Germany behemoth that we left behind, no mills, but they still have civs. This is because they got off-map civs from some of the focuses we take, but most importantly, trade. They have so many resources that they're just getting tons of civs from people trading with them, and unless you stick closed economy on, you can't really escape that. But hey, even despite that, there's still a lot of hurdles they'd have to get through before they can even start spawning units. The Tsardom of Bulgaria joins Middle Europa. Huh, let's hope they're stuck in the Balkans and they don't come for us. So far as I remember, the Bosporus Strait means nobody can pass, and I have no reason to believe that they have access. So yeah, that should be fine, right? Oh my goodness, 13 cavalry units. Absolutely terrible, but we're going to have to micromanage them to the best of our ability. Honestly, don't even push that far, just push from here. That's basically the long and short of what I need to happen. How well it will work, I'm not sure, but that's the idea. Is that a Bulgarian unit? How on earth did a Bulgarian unit even get here? Okay, let's not panic yet, it's fine. Absolutely no reason to panic. Okay, I guess it's time to find out if this is even possible. Let's head in. I'm basically going to be micromanaging a lot of these troops because, frankly, I don't trust about anything they do. Now, if I remember correctly, the AI in this game cheats, but they haven't cheated yet. Sometimes they can spawn divisions for reasons you don't know, but it seems we've done okay this time. We just need to make sure Bulgaria doesn't come destroy us. Considering they haven't even joined the war, I'm guessing it's going fine. In fact, I've completely abandoned the army map mode. It doesn't matter. All that matters is the railway map mode, because then I can see the way that we can maintain supply and not slow down. Oh yes, and let's make sure we keep pushing this line in. All quiet on the eastern front, no German troops yet. I guess they don't know how to build a mill. Very good. Of course they could buy them on the international market, but again, let's just pretend that isn't going to happen. Keep pulling the line in nice and tight. Yeah, the supply right at the front is really running low. This is why following supply lines is so important. Okay, steps away from Berlin. Knock knock, Mr. Kaiser. Amazing. Where's my newspaper event? I just took Berlin. That wouldn't happen to be Soviet volunteers, would it? You know, just a casual, insane amount of Soviet volunteers. That's fine, that's fine. We can account for anything. Absolutely fine. They have literally nothing going on. No strength. No nothing. The most important thing we can do right now is pin them. Oh my god, they're splitting up. They're splitting up and they are gaining strength. I swear to goodness, if I lose to Soviet volunteers, I swear. This is one of those things where, what are you supposed to do? Like, I can hope that the Soviets get themselves into a war that doesn't involve me, but other than that, I'm kind of stumped. Oh, I last standed before they could spread out and I lost all my units. Disaster. I worry we might be in some serious trouble if I can't find a way to, in some regard, take down the German Soviet volunteers. Just pray that the Soviets get into a war, I guess. Oh great, they took back Berlin. That's exactly what you want to see. Why is the Soviets more interested in helping the Kaiser monarchists than me anyway? What's their problem? Right, we've started militarism. That's 2% recruitable population. I need everything. We're not winning, but I do think we're just spreading out so much it's becoming increasingly difficult for the AI to actually deal with the front line that we're producing. They can only send so many volunteers. Oh, and there goes Luxembourg. It doesn't appear like they've managed to reach our homeland, and we should have some supply coming in through the navy, even if it's getting bombed. I will say, we are getting worryingly close to a capitulation, despite the Soviets. For some reason, the Soviet volunteers have kind of stopped moving. I think they're confused. To be fair, I would be confused too. Oh my goodness, 99! Take us something. Take anything. Is that it? Are we done? Oh my god. That was painful. Taking everything. Taking the navy. Well, that is a pretty big United Baltic Duchy, I cannot lie, but I think we can do a little bit better. Declare Germany reunified. You get to decide on your capital, and in doing so it actually gets some buffs. Riga, you can stay where you are, Munich, Frankfurt, but Berlin is the obvious choice. After that you would get some additional decisions to cause some other territory, such as Luxembourg, which is why we took it at the start, or Stjeland from Denmark, which is why we also took that. And let's make sure we get Old Prussia, Silesia, and of course the section of Poland. We actually have more cores now than we did playing as the old Germany. I am missing one in the Alsace-Lorraine. Ugh, do I really care? I don't think I really care, because that, right there, is Germany forming Germany. As ridiculous as it was to do. Heinrich has become the new Kaiser of a weird German empire. We've inherited everything we need to, including a good chunk of manpower. The economy is in shambles, but we can fix that. Also, it seems like I'm surrounded by communists, which probably explains why I saw a lack of guarantees. With that though, I have no intention of playing as the United Baltic Duchy. I think I'm quite done here. So with that, I'll say thank you very much for watching. If you liked this weird Formable nation, then feel free to like, feel free to subscribe, and I'll leave you with this. There is one territory, maybe deep inside the Soviet territories, that can also form Germany, but maybe that's a thought for another day. Alright, adios, sayonara, and I'm out. Bye.